Hi, Kathy. It's Leslie. I just wanted to give you some feedback on your Project 2B um, file that you sent in. I know you had a question about the wrap text in row 4 in both the online sales and in-store sales sheets, since we're kind of working with those two things together. So when I click up here, I mean, I can see that you do have wrap text in applied in some of these, but basically the reason why like this one isn't wrapping is because the column is just wide enough to show the entire um, text here. So like if I were to just manually take this down just a little bit and then click on wrap text, you'll notice that okay, now it wraps because I decreased the column width just enough so that it no longer fit. So I'm going to undo that because I'm going to show you something else. So you can see it just fits, and same thing for climbing roses. So I can see up here there is a wrap text applied, but it's just Excel is saying, well, I don't need to wrap the text at this point because I can show you everything. So going back, let's see if we can't I can kind of show you a couple things. And I know with your version of Excel using a Mac, some of the pixel widths when you're changing the column widths are not seeming to kind of work out. But so I'm just going to show you on my computer, which is a PC, how things kind of look, and again just kind of explain this concept just a little more. So in, let's see, Objective 10 of Project 2B and Activity 25, that was when you were going to group everything, put the items in, or just, I shouldn't say group everything, just at this point you would be grouping online sales and in-store sales and putting this information in. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I have online sales is selected, and then I'm going to shift and click on in-store sales. So now I've grouped both of these things together. Since they're like spreadsheets, we may as well work with both at the same time rather than doing one and then doing another. It's just a nice time saver. So if I go back and in Activity 25, it says select columns A through G and then set their width to 85 pixels. So I'll go back here and select all of the columns A through G. And then really in between any of them, I could just, I'm just going to use my little mouse pointer here and get to 85. There we go. I think that's it. Okay, sorry about that. Um, Let me just check and see, make sure I got that correct. Yep, so they're 85. Okay, so now you can see, let's go back here and do the wrap text one more time. I'm going to take it off and then put it back on. Sometimes you kind of have to take it off, put it back on for it to act correctly. So now you can see here that all of this is working because rose supply, total rose sales, and climbing roses and totals, or excuse me, just those three are now wrapped. But I have a problem down here, obviously. Um, so what we can do is let's go back here, and then I'm just going to double click real quick. Okay, there we go. So I took it down just enough so that these would wrap, and then because the totals are a little bit larger than when we just did the 85 pixels, I just went back and selected just those columns that needed fixing. I didn't include A because that one is fine. So by just clicking B through G and then just doing that auto fit or the double click here, it adjusted each one of these columns just wide enough so that our totals can also show, but then it also kept our wrap text in our column headings as well. So anyway, and then I can just click outside of it to ungroup those, and so we can see that online sales looks good as well as the in-store sales. So that's just kind of I think what happened was and again it's probably having to do with your pixels, but if you want to try not necessarily paying attention to an exact pixel, but maybe bringing it down just a little bit so that everything wraps, that will, just so you can understand the concept. So I hope that this is helpful for you and just kind of explaining why those didn't appear to wrap even though you had set them up to do so. Okay, thanks so much.